Hey everybody, it's 5 p.m., which is just after sunset here in Moscow. It's Thursday night, um, and that means I've been here just over a week now. Matt just left for Austria yesterday. He's meeting up with Liz there, and they're gonna meet up with the Davises and hang out and check the place out and see what they think of things. So I'm here at the house, just hanging out by myself. Working on stuff, getting stuff done. Um, Yesterday, I got a chance to go out with the team from Crusade, and we went to a new campus that they'd never been to before. Kind of check things out there. I didn't get to stay too long because I had to come back and meet Matt here before he left for the airport. But man, woman, or whoever's out there watching, I have to say that it's been a really challenging week, and I think part of that is due to the fact that I haven't really been fully relying and trusting in God the way that I should have been, which that always makes things difficult. Um, at some point, I think like we all do, I kind of ended up getting it twisted, and probably before I left. That I was doing these things myself, and I think that's part of the reason that things were so stressful for me. That last week that I was there at home, it was just because I was trying to do everything in my own strength, and I was trying to do everything on my own. Um, but having realized that now, I feel really comfortable that I can kind of relax and let God handle these things that are way bigger than me. Just, I guess it's tough because, everything is so different here. Like, since I've been here, it hasn't been, it hasn't really been much over. I could probably safely say that it hasn't been over 5 degrees Celsius, and I don't think it's been over 0 degrees Celsius, which that's done in the 20s. Um, so it's been cold, and for most of this week now, it's snowed every day. So we're getting a pretty good accumulation out there. Um, so I mean, there's the weather issues, and then culturally, um, you know, it's not necessarily the most inviting and welcoming place. I mean, once you get to know someone, the people here are incredibly warm and hospitable. But just out on the street every day, it's real. People are very cold, and it's not, the most welcoming of environments. So that's been hard, and also I feel like spiritually, like I've been getting assaulted, with just different things. Like I've been dealing with a lot of fear. Um, just just random, like, not really even afraid of anything, but just this fear that kind of creeps up, and or just feeling kind of displaced, and you know, I guess obviously, like I'm gonna feel displaced and isolated as I'm in a place where I don't understand or speak the language, and I can't read or write. So, but just feeling alone and just like in some ways invisible. It's kind of strange, like when you can't understand anyone and no one can understand you. At least here, they just kind of have a tendency to sort of like blow you off, which has been really frustrating. Um, and it kind of makes you feel like, I don't know. It makes me feel like invisible, like I don't exist. So those have been some things that have been really hard to deal with, but I don't really want to look at those because um, I think God's brought me here for a reason, and there's going to be, there's a lot of stuff to do, and there's no reason really to get discouraged because I know that He's with me. Like, and to think about that, to think about the fact that God brought me here, and that He has a reason for it, and that He's in control of everything, and that really ultimately it's him who, I can trust in, can rely on, have to answer to. It's him who takes care of things, and it's not me. Like, to realize that is very comforting. And so, I'm excited. Like, I'm excited to see what will happen next. Like, I'm going to my first language class in the morning. Um, my first Russian class, and I'll be meeting with Bill tomorrow, who's one of the guys that I'm working with here on the serve team. Meeting with him and sitting down and talking with him about some stuff. I've got some projects from the team to work on. I've got to hook up with Campus Crusade and kind of get to know some of those guys and girls over there. Go on campus with them, spend a little time with them, kind of get familiar with what they're doing and what their operation is. Um, like, even though part of me is pretty homesick, um, you know, I I've got no real reason to doubt, that I should be over here, that that I am over here for a reason, and that God has brought me here. So, if you guys out there keep praying for me, and God stays faithful, which he will, which he always does, then I think things are gonna be all right. I just gotta stick to him through this tough period of adjustment, and we'll see what happens. So I don't know if any of you guys noticed this, but whenever I started my post about 7 minutes ago, the sky outside was pretty blue, and now it's turned to like a really dark blue, almost purple. That should give you guys some indication of how fast the sun moves here. It's not out for very long. Usually it comes up around sometime after 8 and goes down before 5. So, and they say by December 22nd, it won't be up until 9ish, and it'll be down by 4. So, that's another thing that's kind of strange is just the shortness of the day, and it makes it really easy to feel like the day just escapes from you so easily. And I don't know, things are cold and foreboding here at night, and so I still haven't met a whole lot of people. I don't really have a lot of people to go hang out with and stuff. So I'm hoping that'll change. I'm hoping to kind of start meeting folks and acclimating myself to the culture and to social life and stuff here. So we'll see what happens. But I guess I need to go ahead and wrap this up because I'm at about 8 minutes now, and I can only make a 10-minute video to host on YouTube. So I love you all of you guys and girls back home. I miss you guys a lot, and I'll post another one of these things up here next week. And so may the Lord bless you and keep you, and I know that He's sovereign, He's in control, and He takes care of us. So see you guys later.